Hello, welcome back to the video. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to fix your shitaru brakes, how to change them, how to do them yourself for relatively cheap and only a lot of suffering. But unfortunately, before we can move this into the working area, we gotta do some maintenance before, because that's just the life of owning a Subaru. It never ends. So before we can even begin to touch the brakes on this, we got to fix this. So that's why the air hose stays out, because they leak so bad that I have to do this a lot. So, I could get a tire pressure gauge out and measure it, but realistically, I don't care that much. So we're just gonna go till they either explode or till it looks good, and then we're gonna move on from there. Now that we've got everything cleared out, it's time to start this. Hopefully it still starts. It's been a little while since I've driven this, which really makes you think, is it still a daily driver if I haven't got to driven it in about a month? Well, I don't like to think too deep about stuff, so we're just gonna say it is. Let's just get this thing fired up. And actually, I know the types of people that watch this channel. Anyone that's gonna be doing this vehicle, that has this vehicle, is a real car enthusiast, and they just wanna hear the power of this thing when I started out of that exhaust pipe. So I'll move you to the exhaust pipe, because everyone wants to hear the power of a not V6, not turboed 4-cylinder, but a straight boxer engine, 4-cylinder, 165 over-engineered piece of crap Subaru engine. Everyone wants to hear that. That's the Preem engine. So I'll move you to the exhaust so you can really hear this thing sing, providing it starts and doesn't sink the pistons out of the engine. Does it even have enough power to do that? I don't know. Now the first, recommended step is that you should probably lift this up, because it'll make, changing the brakes a lot easier, especially trying to wrangle this up. You ever wrangled one of these off without on a jack? Pain in the butt. Now, anyone that knows anything about, an old unibody car, it's that you put it on the old pinch welds, except this car, because if you do that, you will it'll become a triangle. So you got to find somewhere under this car where you can just shove this, and it might lift it up. And it's really just a guessing game of what's the least rustiest part. So you just kind of want to get down on the ground like this and go under the car and just start digging around, maybe get a pry rod and just start poking at shit and just figuring out what's what's rusty down here that you can don't want to hit. What looks like, it probably won't kill me. What is that? I don't know. It's something. Can I lift to that? I'll give it a poke. Alright, I think I found the spot. Now it's important while you're lifting this up that you listen for any bad crunching noises. Then it's always important to make sure you have some kind of jack stand or something holding this up. You don't have to use a jack stand. You could use a cinder block, a neighbor you don't like, I don't know, a stick, whatever suits your interest. It's probably high enough. I don't know. Now it's always important to, just get... Yeah, see, that right there would be why I'm not lifting from my pinch weld. So now we got our jack stand, safely secured in there. On the thing that I just said not to put on, that's fine. Basically means it's, doing nothing. It's time to take the tire off. Now, when you're taking this tire off, it's very important that you use metric, because this is a Japanese car built in America. Whatever, more Americanly built than Dodges or Chevy, kind of Ford too. Anyway, I'm gonna use standard though, because I'm not a peasant and I use standard for everything. Metric's dumb and it doesn't exist. That doesn't fit. Now, you know, it may look like I'm using metric here because I am, but, you know, when I retract my statement from earlier, I never said that using metric was for peasants. Now, you know, then you just want to hit it as hard as possible. Make sure that you're actually loosening though. Now we're just gonna take the tire off and, you know, just gently push it to the side over there. There we go. Now we get to look at these. They're only about as bad as I thought. Now, you know, luckily I did the correct thing, and I did the thing you're always supposed to. You know, you're never supposed to replace the rotors. Why would you do that? That's a waste of money. You know, I just got pads, but I do have a way that we're gonna fix these. Since we're only going to be replacing the pads, that means we only have to do half as much work. So, you know, I don't know, I'm not a metric guy. So like a 7/16, I don't know. Don't think we need a deep well, I can tell you that. You know, every good mechanic definitely knows what size it is right off the bat. So, you know, I was just testing you to see if you guys would catch that was definitely not the right size. What side did they even grab it? I don't know. 15? 15, big. 14, probably corrector size. Wow, look at that. So what we're going to want to do is, since we don't have to take the rotor off, we don't have to take this bracket off. So all we have to take off is this caliper right here. So we want to take off this bolt and this bolt right here for the sliding pins. And I definitely knew that was a 14 millimeter right away. So, you know, you're probably going to want to hit these with the, there you go, some WD-40. You can't hit them with a torch. Just be careful because your gas tank is back here. So you just want to make sure your gas tank isn't leaking. Now, the way to do that is you can take the torch and just dangle it near it. And if it explodes, then you know it had a leak. Or you can punch it till it has a leak, then you definitely know it has a leak, and then you can't use the torch. Either way, whatever you want to do. That there's a bolt right here and right here, so you're going to want to hold this one. You know, I'm using a vice grip because I gave up trying to find what size it was, and this is easier. You know, I'm sure there's a correct size of some sort. That dinky little guy, and look at those dinky, okay, just rest there, little buddy. Look at these dinky little pads. Speaking of little, there was not much left of those. Oh, oh, okay. Good, this back one's gonna fight me. That's what the multi-tool is for. Get, oh good, just breaking apart are we now? Okay. Back here, can you? Yeah, finally got those out, so those are good. I mean, I think I'll save those and reuse those. Now, we need to refurbish this, you know. Now, if you're wondering, how are you going to refurbish this without taking this off? Well, it's a very easy way. So, this is how we're going to do it. That is not the color I thought it was, you know? Okay, that's fine. I mean, those are basically restored. Now that there's a wet paint everywhere, now we'll, you know, finish replacing the brakes. So, you know, we just want to rip these off. Actually, we should probably verify that, you know, this nice set right here. All right, come on out. Or do I just leave these in and just, do I be lazy, or do I go and put a little bit of effort in? I mean, I put some effort in with the spray paint job that I just did here. Now, I did go ahead and remove those clips, and, you know, I'm going to replace them with the nice new ones. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a brush and a wire brush, and I'm going to, and maybe a file, and I'm going to just try to clean these up. I mean, I cleaned them off a little bit. I might work on these just a little bit more, just to try to get these a little bit cleaner. I mean, you know, I only grabbed the biggest file imaginable. Now, obviously, if I was taking these off, you know, I was replacing the rotor, I'd go the extra mile and I'd get these things extremely clean. But with the limited space and with what we're really doing here, we just need it to be better ish than what it was. Okay, so I got all that back in, and you know, now we get to do the fun part of just putting the pads back in. Yay. Okay, now that we got our pads, oh, okay. Come on back one, stop fighting me. Just come in. Oh, right. That was on the jack. Now, what we want to do is we got to compress this caliper. I mean, you know, as you can see, she was a little bit far out. You know, it's definitely not from the from that. Anyway, so there's lots of ways you can do it. Luckily, this is one of the stupid ones where you have to twist and pull shit at the same time. This is one where I could just take a, you know, pair of channel locks and just clamp them on there to there, and just go for it. But you want to make sure if you're going to do that, you know, maybe stick one of those right there or something, or just go for it. I don't know, up to you. I got the caliper compressed, got it back in, and just a preference here. You can also use a C-clamp with a brake pad on the caliper to try to push it back in if she's being a little stubborn on the old piston. But anyway, I would just put both bolts in, and then before you tighten both of them down, you know, just to make sure that it's all lined up before you just go crank on one, and then it's like, oh, well, that's not lined up, and then you got to listen. Don't tell me how, don't ask me why I know that. No, just putting the tire back on, and good time to mention these really crappy lug nuts that they put. I mean, I can't even reach my fingers in it. Now, I know they're not made for Americans, but like, geez, man. No, I always start with this bottom one, get it as tight as possible. You know, maybe snag it up a little bit with your, I wouldn't do an impact, but just take the socket by hand and just get in there, get it nice and tight, and then do the other ones. Then you want to do your old star pad, and then we'll lower it and I'll torque it. I will actually torque this one, you know, with a torque wrench. I don't know why I did that because it's a real torque wrench. I don't know. All right, so I've got, you know, the last one nice and torqued here. I just torqued him to 80 foot-pounds, you know. Small car, that's what the old Google machine would say, so I'm sure that's really accurate. I don't know. Anyway, it's running. I want to get this done. We're moving to the next side. Now we get to go take it for a test drive now that those, you know, brakes are 100% refurbished. Hopefully I didn't forget anything. I mean, it feels like we got a good pedal. So, yeah. Should probably take this tire sooner. That would be smart. Alright, so we're just gonna drive it for a little bit, then there's a stop sign down here, and that'll really be the test to see if these old brakes are any better. You know? Let's do test. Wow, I'm so surprised those rotors are warped. Whoa, that's so surprising. Yeah, when I press the pedal, it's still, she vibrates a little. Feels pretty good. They still vibrate, but there's not much I can do, like pulsate. But that's probably because they got extremely warm from the metal on metal contact they were doing. Yeah, I may have waited a little bit too long to do those brakes. Anyway, other than that, which is fine, I can deal with that. They're not grinding anymore. I don't hear any noise out of them. So, and the pedal feels fairly whatever-ish. So, and I'm sure that it's all good. I don't know. Nothing's fallen off yet. We're doing 55, so almost 60. We're going down a really horrible road. So, I mean, you know, it's fine. So I drove it for like a half an hour and it drove fine. So I guess it's fine. Don't ask about why it's so dirty. But anyway, so, you know, that's basically, oh, let me come with me for a second. Where are those pads at? Yep, just get open. Please, I would be happy if you could open anytime. Where's the really I mean, okay, so like to say that might have been just starting to rub just a little bit. To say that those are like really like this when you press it, I'm sure those back rotors are just great. Anyway, if you did enjoy this video, you know, you should like totally comment and subscribe and do all that, the thingy-mabobbies, and comment how, you know, great of a tutorial this was. Anyway, bye.